When it comes to net worth, we all love to
Right. What's going on, guys? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Sorry I'm a little bit late. What you guys saying in the chat here? Let me pull it up. We'll get into a little bit of the market here. We got some really interesting stuff. Why is the volume low? Do I sound low? Why is the volume low? Let me know if you guys can hear me good. Jeremy, first as always. Dale Gordon, what's up? Good morning, man. Alpha, good morning. Wesley, Jeremy first is up. Yep. I'm telling you, man, Jeremy put you guys down. What's up, guys? What's up? What's up? Jay Schmidt, good morning. Wake up, AC. Yeah, I was running a bit behind. I had some technical issues trying to get everything ready for the studio, so that's my bad. Five Handles Trader, what's up? Good morning. I think I recognize you from Twitter. Good morning. Good morning, Michael. Corey, what's up? Okay, sounds good. Yeah, let me know in the chat if I sound good for you guys. All right, if you guys taking a look at today's chart, one thing I want to really go over is this is going to be a very important stream and something that you may not be familiar with. So if you guys are not familiar with who I am or how I trade, welcome everyone. I see a lot of you guys popping in here. You guys need to understand, I say this every stream. I say this before every YouTube stream, every live stream that I have with my trade group. We never force trades because this is a business. You know what I mean? This is a 100% business. Oh, nice. Who's that? Silver Bullet Capital? Thanks. Thank you for the subscribe, man. Welcome. But you guys need to understand that if the environment or what I'm looking at on the chart for my business plan, not your business plan, but for my business plan does not make sense or the opportunity's already happened or whatever the case may be, then it may not be a good time to make a business decision, aka a trade. So this morning on the chart, something happened very interesting. Now, a lot of you guys that are watching this stream are probably very familiar with the midnight retracement, right? The midnight snap. It's free. If you guys want, if you're new here and you don't know what this is, click the link in the description below after the stream, obviously, and get access to the indicator. Go watch that video on how to use it. But we had a very interesting play this morning. So you can see we actually did retrace right on the dot at 8 o'clock, which is the second most high probability area for price to retrace to. But it wasn't a great. It was very debatable. It was very debatable. So again, if you guys want to go back here, let's go back in time real quick, and I'll show you guys the setup. Welcome everyone. Let me know in the chat where you guys are watching from. We got 42 people in here. If you guys get value from today's stream, I would love it if you just click that like button. Let me know in the chat. Takes a couple seconds, where you're watching from. Are you trading today? What's your traded assets? Just give me a little bit about yourself and who you are as a trader, because I love seeing new people pop in here and tell me what they're about. So in this trade here, right? So right before 7 o'clock closed, we got our footprint. We know where the objective buy pressure is. We know that here's the midnight open, so we're below it. So we're looking for longs. We know that, right? We're obviously bullish, in a bullish state here with the market. So then we drop to the 1 minute time frame, and this was the trade. Okay, and I was talking to my trade group this morning, and it's debatable. And these are the trades where if I talk myself out of a trade, and you guys know what I mean by talking yourself out of a trade versus just being scared. Okay, if you ask yourself, if you go into every single trade, why shouldn't I get into this trade? A lot of the times you're going to see high probability trades, because if you can't talk yourself out of a trade, then most of the time you know without any other doubt, without a shadow of a doubt, this is probably a high quality trade. For me, the biggest thing that was I was on the fence with this trade was my stop loss had to be here, right? My stop loss had to be below this protected low. I couldn't place it below this low, right? I'm not directly placing it below this low because we're not protected. This low, we don't know what this low is going to do, right? We just had this candle here, but this low never caused any major shift. This low back here was the continuation of this bullish structure, in addition to closing. This low was responsible for closing above this high of bearish order flow, right? We were making bearish structure, and this was the responsible party for closing above this high. So this was the only logical place for me to put my stop loss. And if this is the only logical place for me to put my stop loss, I was like just hovering right at a 1 for this trade. So I had to tell myself, you know, it's just not a good high quality trade for me. You know, it's not a good risk to reward, even though, yeah, it's like right close to a 1. I don't even want to give myself, I don't want to give myself something where it's just like, okay, maybe this one time. I'm never that type of trader. So, you know, this is a very important stream for you guys to understand that it is okay. Don't let people convince you, guys. If it doesn't click with your brain, it is perfectly fine to have a no trade day, or not a trade for your model, right? I got another model that we're still going to sit here and find an example of with velocity here, but it was just not a great risk to reward. And I wanted to really bring that up as we come into this stream, because these are the things that you guys have to understand. This is why I stream every single Monday, unless there's a federal holiday or I'm sick or something. This is why I stream and show you guys the realities of trading. This is what real trading is. Don't let anybody convince you otherwise. Don't let anybody tell you that everything's always sunshine and rainbows, every day's green, all this stuff. Guys, there's red days, there's flat days, there's green days, obviously, and the green days should definitely outweigh the red. But sometimes you're just going to have situations like this, and you have to be a CEO, you have to be a business owner, not a trader that just wants to always be in the markets. So this was the midnight retracement. If you guys were looking at midnight this morning and you were looking at your charts, I didn't like it. I was not a fan of it, even though it did played out really nicely. I just wasn't a fan of it. But that's me. Now, taking a look at US30, and this is why I love the way I trade so much. So you see a lot of people online, they talk about this and that. You got to trade this way. You got to trade that way. You got to trade with this. There's a PD array over here with an order block, and you got to make sure that the loop-de-loop and pull pattern is confirming with your kill zone session, and you got all this junk, right? Like, dude, there's so much overwhelming crap out there. And I will never degrade a strategy. It's just some of the people out here, they just want something simple, right? Like some of these strategies honestly does not click with our brains, and that is perfectly okay. Never let anyone make you feel like just because you're not spending 12 hours going over your pre-market analysis that you are lesser than, because it's very simple. If you can have market structure, liquidity, and some type of data, in this case, I use my midnight retracement as data, then you have a trading model. You truly don't need anything else. So in this case here, what we're looking at, and I was telling my Discord group this morning, we could have a start of a bearish day. If we break below this level, we can come all the way down here. And look at what we're doing, right? Because this liquidity, okay, this huge wick right here, this is what I like to call liquidity footprints. Okay, well, I'm on the hourly time frame right now. When you go to the hourly time frame for Dow Jones, you can see this. What is this? 11 o'clock. When you have these humongous wicks, what is this telling us? This is telling us people that can move the market, okay? People that can move the market are causing buy pressure here, and then vice versa over here, sell pressure. This is telling me that in an hour's time, at some point, people that were able to move the market snap this candle like a rubber band all the way back up to here. You, myself, and all these other high-level retail traders, none of us can move the market like this, okay? These are market makers, people that have money, okay? So that's all I need. I don't need some crazy 20,000 minute, tape reading session to understand that. This is very easy. But this also tells me if this level gets broken, the sellers are definitely overpowering the objective buy pressure here. And where would we go to next? Where's the next level of contention? Because price loves to go to path that's least resistant, right? That's just how price works. That's why price likes to move the way it moves. So the only next place for price to go is, if you guys take a look at my chart, is right here. Now, could we cause some drama here? Could we move around? Could we bounce around? Absolutely. But the next place that makes sense, and now here's another thing. Okay, here's another disclaimer. You guys see this right here? Caution, I only win sometimes. I'm also right sometimes, and sometimes I'm wrong. And that is perfectly okay, because it's not about being right all the time. Even with me just giving you analysis, even me sitting here saying we could come down here, the next area that makes sense for me and how I trade and how I view price action in the markets is we come down here, right? That's it. But could we stop here in our tracks and just absolutely shoot back up? Absolutely. And I will never marry an idea. I will never marry an analysis. I'll never marry anything, because these markets are fluid. They move quick. So why would I be married to a certain movement or a certain pattern on the charts, right? So this is the next level that I'm seeing for US30 for Dow Jones, especially if we close on the hourly, which we have 17 minutes left. Here, let me scoot this over just a little bit. Oh, I can't do that. Never mind. But we have like 17 minutes left on this hourly candle. So if we close here, we could definitely, we have a high probability, I'll say that. We have a high probability of dumping down to, what do we got? 916, the 916 level. What'd you guys say in the chat here? Good morning, Jay. Jay Schmidt said I'm forgiven. All right, nice. Silver Bullet Capital, what's up? I see some familiar faces in here from Twitter. R4, good afternoon from UK. What's up? Kitchen Spiral from Japan. Dude, watching from Japan. I think you're the first person I've seen watch from Japan. That's nice. Austin, Texas, trading 2 years. First time streaming. Nice. Michael Stevens, welcome, bro. Dude, that's awesome. Austin, Texas. Texas is like my favorite state. When I was in the military, I was stationed at San Antonio. And then I went back for some training in San Antonio, Fort Sam. Dude, I love it. San Antonio is like, there's just so much to do and so much around the area. Like, it's such a beautiful state. Absolutely love it. Charlotte, North Carolina. Did a bunch of time in North Carolina, too. Did a bunch of time in Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Fayetteville. What's up, man? Trading NQ, working on Apex evals. That's what I'm doing. Yeah, I got 9 Apex evals right now that I'm working on. And if everything goes to plan, it's going to be pretty nice. Going to be pretty nice. It's your boy Anya. What's up? From Kenya, trading gold. Nice. Never marry anything. What about that cute doctor? Never marry anything on the charts. Outside the charts, y'all got free game. Go fall in love with whoever makes you happy. But on the charts, it's all business, baby. All business. All right, let's take a look back at NASDAQ here. That was not NASDAQ. If you guys get value from this stream, if you like it, if you have any questions, please let me know in the chat. Drop a like on this stream. Let's go. We got market open in 45 minutes. TM Productions, what's going on, bro? Good morning. PG, hi from Germany. Dude, love Germany too. Went to Germany just for a very small amount of time, and it was beautiful. Love it. Yeah, San Antonio is awesome. What's up, Mouse? What's up, Austin? Since Foxify is going back live, I need more trading knowledge. Love to see you at it. Dude, I love that you mentioned that. Let me turn this music down just a bit. There we go. I love that you mentioned that because I have a whole playlist. I made a whole playlist here. Let me pull it up. Like everything that like is in my mind, or if you are confused about anything I talk about, dude, it's all here. It is all here, and I'm actively adding to this playlist. So this one right here. Right here. Everything you need as a trader. You click on it. This pulls up everything. The only risk reward you need, how to be a profitable retail trader. This one's really good. Simple profitable day trading strategy. This goes over the market structure and footprints very in depth. Stupid easy trading strategy. This goes over the Nancy strategy that I'm going over right now. I call it the Nancy Pelosi strategy because you can pretty much see the manipulation daily. How I made 144 ticks in one trade. This one goes over a trade that I took from the midnight retracement. Very important. Okay, I want you guys to see. I want you guys to see something very interesting. This is the most important video ever that I've made. If you are unprofitable at trading, watch this. It is trading psychology. But guess what? I would almost bet you this is one of the most underwatched videos out of this whole playlist. Why? Because it's not sexy. This one only has 495 views, but guess what? You go to like any of these strategy videos, 404. Okay, so that's not as... I thought that was going to be way more. That's a live stream, though. 301. All right, well, I thought that one was definitely going to be way lower than it was. Okay, 1.7 thousand. All right, again, strategy. So the strategy videos definitely get more views, but that be like the 10%, right? The 10% are going and watching this one right here. The 90% are going straight to all the sexy stuff. Okay, and this is in no particular order, by the way. I think I can change the order. Yeah, I can. I should probably change the order one day. I'm not going to do that now, though. But go watch that whole playlist. Watch it 20 times if you have to. Vietnam. You know, it wasn't as bad as when I was there. I mean, I get why people called it Vietnam, but I had a pretty good time. It wasn't super bad. I was there for 4 years. Did 2 years at Bragg myself. Nice. I'm surprised you didn't do more. Usually people that go to Bragg, dude, they're stuck there for like ever. It's like they call it the black hole because you always get sucked back. If I didn't get out of the military, it was probably going to be worse. I was probably going to go back there at some point. New here, could you please explain your second model you mentioned? Yeah, okay, yeah. Just watch the playlist, R4. And if you guys have any questions at all, okay, like any questions, you go to the watch the playlist, you got questions, join my Discord. Okay? Join my Discord. We have people in here right now. Look at this. I mean, this is free. This site is free. Okay? I'm going to be opening the Discord up soon for if anybody wants to attend my live trade sessions. So I trade I'm going to actually start doing the live trade sessions for the general public and my pack trade group Tuesday through Thursday, because Fridays I've been kind of noticing, and people in my pack trade group, they know this too, Fridays are usually my worst. They're just my lowest performing days of the week. Again, my data tells me that, my journal tells me that, so why do I want to really risk my business that much? So I may move my sessions from Tuesday to Thursday. Let me know in the chat how you guys feel about that. But yeah, so if you guys want to do that, it's going to be open to the public soon. You can see right here how to get access. You'll see that and all that. But just this side, it's free. You can join the Discord. The link is in the description below. We have, look at this. Mycroft, dude, shout out to Mycroft. He's been freaking killing it in the chat here, trading the midnight retracements. PG took the same one as a paper trade. Look at that. You guys are learning, right? You guys are seeing the models play out. Now, again, this NASDAQ midnight retracement, I mean, it's an iffy one only because it was like right below a 1R, and I really like to have a good positive risk-to-reward ratio with these trades. I don't really want to have under a 1, and I just couldn't really squeeze it out and make it make sense for me. But hey, that's my business. You know, that's my business. I don't care how you guys trade. If you find a way to make your business profitable, who am I to tell you or to get in your way? This is not a cult. This is a journey that each and every one of you have your own businesses for. The unsexy psychology video was the most sexy one for me, Austin. Absolutely, dude. That's how it should be. That's how it should be. I will argue until the depths of the earth, okay, that psychology runs the edge, right? No one can tell me that psychology is not important or not critical, if not the most important part of trading, because, dude, you have to freaking be psychologically disciplined, right? I put it on my charts. Focusing on what matters: psychology, discipline, consistency, because without these three things, the edge will never yield me a single dollar. I don't care how you guys trade. If you can't freaking be disciplined to your strategy when you take a loss or you have a no trade day, if you can't be psychologically in the moment and let the trade play out and be okay in drawdown, be okay when the trade is floating beside your TP and it hasn't hit yet, letting the trades just run, and then show up every single day. Don't show up like once a week or twice a week or only when it feels good. Like, show up every single day. I don't care how you feel. I don't care if you're sick. I don't care what the heck's going on. Try your absolute best to show up every single day, because this is a business, right? So many people are treating this like a hobby. That's why 90% of the people fail, guys. Trading is not difficult. It is not difficult to understand that here's where liquidity is. Here's where buy pressure is. It is not difficult to understand that if I have a 67.2% chance of price going from here to here, that I have a high statistical probability of taking a long. It is not insanely difficult to go to the 1 minute time frame and to see what low made a new high to put my stop loss behind. This stuff is easy. The hard part is letting these trades play out and taking good calculated trades and containing your emotions to not take emotionally undisciplined trades. That's the difficult part. That's why 90% of the people fail. That's why most people in America are obese. That's why most people can't stick to a fitness plan for more than a week. That's why people can't build businesses that are successful for longer than a year. These people don't want the actual work that it takes to be a business owner. These people don't want the actual work that it takes to be a successful professional trader. This is the unsexy stuff that you have to find sexy. And I even said that in the video, is you have to understand, you have to find sexy in the unsexy, that you just got to, right? I know I'm like preaching right now, but I'm telling you guys everything I had to do and accept and put my ego aside in order for me to experience week over week green weeks and just being profitable and going to bed at the end of the day and being like, dang, I actually made money today. I didn't give it back to the markets. You know, it's as easy as just, hey, you get a full take profit trade, you're done for the day. I'm done. I don't need to expose my business to any more risk. What the heck do I got to do? Right? And even for all of you guys watching, right? We got 51 viewers right now. I love each and every one of you, and I'm really happy you guys are here. But guess what? We may not have a single trade this stream. That's business, you know? It would be very disingenuous of me just to sit here and force trades, especially for newer traders, and give this artificial reality that that's how trading really is when it's not. You know, I set my alerts. I'm waiting for my daily high and daily low to be broken here, and if it happens and I get my setup, I get my setup. If I don't, I don't. And I'm perfectly fine with that, you know? Some people think that they have to trade a certain way, or this is gospel. Like, dude, just be confident and have conviction with whatever model you want and go all in on it. You know, as controversial as Andrew Tate is, we got 53 people in here. I'm sure there's at least one person in this stream that dislikes Andrew Tate. That's just the law of statistics. But guess what? If you really want to learn in life, you have to learn to get value from people that you even don't like. Meaning, stop being in echo chambers and just listen to people and try to get the value from it. Like, you may not even like me, or you may not like how I trade. Get the value from what I'm saying. You know, you don't have to love me to get the value, right? You don't have to come here and just be in love with me. Just come in here and get the value. Extract what you came here for. So, Andrew Tate said something once, and it is very true. You know, he's like, I don't dismiss the fact that depression isn't real, right? I don't dismiss the fact that depression is actually something in your brain, but I don't believe in it because it does me no value. You know, like, why should I believe in something that's going to only make me weak? There's no net benefit to believing that something that is only going to make me weak and lesser of a person, right? So in trading, it's the same thing. I don't care how other people trade. I genuinely don't. If I took a long position and someone was like, dude, why did you take a long? We were obviously in this loop-de-loop and pull order block, fair value gap, oversold RSI, MACD crossover. Why in the world would you take a long there? I don't care, because I believe this is my model that is going to work, and I have proof and data that it does work. You know, I do this all the time. So I don't care about a singular trade. I don't care if I lose the next trade that I get into, because I know if I use positive risk management and I use data and I use market structure and liquidity, I'm going to be fine long term. But if I sit here and I listen to all these other people's ways of thinking and I get insecure about my model, that's a chink in the armor. That's a weakness in my business. That's something that's going to allow me to, when I get into a trade, to have a little bit of insecurity in my trade. I truly don't care how people trade. I'm happy for other people's success. But that doesn't mean I'm going to trade that way. You know, that doesn't mean that I have to be that way. Austin, a question about your footprint in the chart. You have not marked the wick here, but the entire candle. Do you do that with such small candles, dojis? Great question, PG. I think I know what you're talking about. You're talking about this, right? So what I do when I draw out my footprints is I don't just stick to one singular candle. So this is what you guys are probably doing, which is fine. It's not wrong in any way, shape, or form. So if you're drawing your footprints and you do this, and then you do this, right? And you want to get that candle, and then you do this and get that one over here. This is fine, but to make my chart way more simple and to not give myself a headache looking at all these different different rectangles. I literally, all I do is before my trade session, I will just, if there's multiple wicks beside the footprint that I'm going to draw, I'll just encompass the whole thing. So I'm not taking into account a singular candle or anything like that. All I'm doing is I'm starting here, and then I'm going to wherever the wick stops at that encompasses all this buy pressure, right? So I'm just including all of these together into one giant buy pressure area. So that way I know that this whole area is buy pressure because it has this footprint here. It has these footprints here, right? So I know all of this is heavy. All of this is heavy buy pressure. And you can see, look, what's supporting price right now. You know, this is the beautiful thing of how simple trading can be. Everybody else, or a lot of people that are using all these other crazy intricate ways, dude, they're like making themselves have analysis by paralysis because they're going to like all these different time frames and marking out, well, we got a change of character and a break of structure and blah 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 blah. And it's like, dude, this is an area that's supporting price because we have objective buy pressure here. And you can see this, right? You can see this happening, right? Huge buy pressure here. Look at where price has stopped in its tracks. 2 hours. So great question, PG. Dale Gordon, 10 years in the British military. Nice. Better man than me. I did 7, so you're better man than me. I did 2 contracts in the Army. And I had to get out. I was like, nah, this ain't for me, dog. This ain't for me. It's a no for me, dog. Is it bad to think, Jay Schmidt has a question here. Is it bad to think a 1-to-1 3-point scalps to replace my income and then later I can focus on higher RR? Just focused on 300 a day at the moment. Definitely reading trading psychology and using demo before going live. Jay Schmidt, amazing question. Amazing question because so many think the same thing of what you just asked. Now again, before I go into this, please read the disclosure below, guys. Click the details and a link in the description below. I have the full day trading is risky disclosure here, straight from the regulating authority that made it. Okay, I got it copied and pasted here, guys. Day trading is risky. I am not a financial advisor. I am not your specific financial advisor. I'm not giving specific or singular financial advice. I'm not giving you trading advice. I'm not licensed to trade. I'm not licensed to give you trading advice or professional trading advice or anything like that. All I'm doing is giving you guys my specific trading journey, and everything that I tell you that I'm doing on the charts, even when I use the term we, all I'm doing is giving you my experience. That's it. So based on my experience, Jay Schmidt, and based on what you just said, you have to understand this before we even break down that question. We have to understand that if we understand that 90% of traders, all 90% of traders out there are unprofitable, are failing, we have to be very conscious of what we say in terms of, is this the 90% or the 10% talking? Meaning, if I get into a trade, right now, let's say this was a trade, just boom, right here, going long, right there. I'm not actually in a trade, guys. I'm not in a trade. Let's say this was the trade, okay? And I go into a little bit of drawdown. The first thought that comes into my brain right now in this fake trade, I am not in a trade, in this fake trade. Oh, nice. Thank you so much. I think it said concerned American. Hey, welcome to the channel, man. Thank you for your subscription. But the first thought that comes into my brain emotionally is usually what the same thing the 90% are thinking. Okay, I want you guys to listen to that. I'm going to repeat myself. The initial reaction that you have in these markets, the initial thing that you ever think of, making an X amount per day, getting in this trade that I'm faking right now, this thing right here. Oh, I'm in drawdown. I got to close it because I'm scared, right? Or what if this trade started going into profit? Oh, I got to close because I'm getting... That initial knee-jerk reaction is probably what 90% of the other people in the world are thinking as well, right? So we have to ask ourselves, do we want to align with the 90% way of thinking, or do we want to align with the 10%, right? So the thing that I'll tell you, and I'll caution you, because this is and I'm only giving you statistics, I am not giving you financial or personal advice. The statistics are people that look for an X amount per day, or people that are trying to find an income going straight into trading, people that are having monetary goals, I would say a high majority of them. Now, again, there's always a minority in everything, okay? There's never a 100% generalization. But you guys have to understand, I'm speaking in a broad sense, not... But there's this one guy that's making all this per day, and he has goal... I'm speaking in the broad sense, okay? In the broad sense, most people with monetary goals are never realizing those goals. Because, one, if you have a goal of making X amount per day, what happens when you don't make that per day? What happens when you get stopped out? Because you're going to get stopped out. You're going to lose trades. Your psychology is going to go crazy. You're going to blow an account. You're going to overtrade. You're going to revenge trade because you're going to try to get that money. Or at least, at the very least, get back the losses because you're depending on this money, right? You're depending on this. So that's number one. Number two, if you were to tell me that you're shooting for X amount per day, what that tells me is you're able to predict your income. AKA, you're able to predict what the market's going to give you. I'm not related to Nancy Pelosi. She's not my mom. She's not my aunt. She's nowhere in my family line. So I can't text her and tell her what stocks to buy today. So if I don't have an advantage of understanding where the market's going to be because I don't have a crystal ball, I don't have some government official that's on the inside, I don't have anybody to tell me insider information of when to get in or when to get out, I have to understand that I'm playing the game of probabilities. I'm not playing the game of certains. I'm not playing the game of, yeah, I think I could make $100 today. I don't know. I could lose today. I could have a red day. Because it's not about how much can I make per day. It's about what's my max risks that I am giving myself to lose in my business per day. So that way, if I use calculated risk decisions every single day, my winners are going to make way more than my losers. And even if I have a red day, that red day is going to it's going to be so much more smaller than a green day because I'm using positive risk management. So you see how you flip it on its head? The 90% are thinking, how much can I make per day? The 10% are thinking, how much can I risk per day? Okay, you guys write that down. Okay, that's a very important one. The 90% are thinking, how much can I make per day? How many trades can I win? Can I get away with a 90% win rate if I just get 2 or 3 ticks here and there and just scalp and scalp and scalp and scalp? The 10% are thinking, how can I make this as stress-free as possible? What's my maximum risk I'm allowing my business to take on per day? Right? And how can I take the most high probability setups? That's it. Because ask yourself this. If you were shooting for an X amount per day, if you were shooting for $300, $400, $500 per day, whatever the goal is, right? And you fall short below that and you're just going to sit here and constantly overtrade and revenge trade, are you going to feel like you already know like how you can just sense? We got 50 people in this stream right now. You can just probably sense how stressful that sounds. You know what I mean? You can just like think about how stressful that job would be trying to always make that monetary goal every day. Now ask yourself, what happens if you do get lucky and you make 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000, you make a ton of money? Are you going to be comfortable, and do you want to do this for the rest of your life in that type of environment where you're stressed all the time, freaking out after every trade? No. I want to give myself freedom, but I also want to give myself a career that I am not stressing out every single day because life is too short and stress will absolutely shorten your lifespan. So I want to make it as stress-free as possible. I don't want to sit here and freak out clicking this button 20 million times. right? Just like how when you're doing prop accounts, when people are trading these prop accounts and they're sitting here getting these prop challenges and they're just like, yeah, I'll be responsible when I'm funded. I'm just going to be stupid on this evaluation, but I'll be responsible when I'm funded. What? You're going to do the same thing when you were in your evaluations because you're building a weak foundation. So it's the same thing of if you're just shooting for whatever, you're just going to constantly be in that hamster wheel of gratification. So I know that's a very long-winded answer, but I wanted to give you something of value, right? I want you guys to come into these streams, and it's not something boring where I'm just sitting here. All right, guys, we're coming down here. Oh, we're pumping back up. Like I want to sit here and talk to you guys. So I really do appreciate you guys giving feedback, asking questions. Please ask as many questions you guys want, because without you guys, I'd just be sitting here staring at a chart in my room, not live streaming at all. But a key word that what you said in your question was shoot for 1-to-1 3-point scalps to replace my income and then later focus on higher R&R, right? That's what the 90% are thinking, right? They're thinking, if I just shoot for quick little movements now in this evaluation to pass it, I'll then go and be responsible. No, you won't. No, you won't. No, you won't. You gotta practice what you preach in the trenches, right? Doing what you're doing right now. Then once you get to the stage of making money, you've already practiced it 100 times, 200 times. You practiced that same jab 100,000 times. So when it comes to using that jab in the ring, you're going to be an expert. But guess what? If you were sitting here training for a boxing match, right? And you're like, I'll do cardio tomorrow. I'll get him in the ring. I know how to punch. I know how to jab. I know how to do that. I'll do it in the ring. You know, we all can kind of see how that would happen. We could see how that would play out. Trading's no different, guys. Trading is no different. Trading's no different than business, than relationships, than anything we do in life. Trading is no different. Yeah, The Best Loser Wins is a very good book, by the way. Yeah. The hourly candle on US30 is nuts. I know. I told you guys. What did I say? Like, look at this. It's liquidity. If you guys are just tuning in, I told you it's this simple. Okay, find the liquidity, and price loves to move at the path of least resistance. Okay, we have this huge liquidity here. We closed below it on the hourly. The next point of contention that makes logical sense. I don't care what model you use. I don't care what strategy you use. If you can just find liquidity on the chart, which is very simple, it's not complicated, it only makes sense for price to go to these areas. It's not rocket science, you know? So when we close below this zone, the only place that makes sense, again, I can be wrong. Absolutely I can be wrong. I'm not 100%. This isn't a guarantee. This is a high probability. You see this? This doesn't say price retrace guarantee. This says price retrace probability, because I have a high probability of retracing here every single morning. So it's the same thing here. This is a high probability that we're going to go here, because this is the area where that has caused a lot of business to be done in the market. You guys like the stream music? I tried making something a little different. Can you guys even hear it that good? Just a little bit. There we go. Yo, baby thanks. What's up, bro? Good to see you, man. Appreciate you popping in the stream. Understood. Thank you, Austin. You're welcome, PG. 4 years, 3 months, 27 days on active duty in the U.S. Army. Nice. I love that you always remember down to the literal day. That's funny. Thanks, bro, for the personal feedback. Take away. Focus on fixing myself first. Absolutely, bro. Listen, the charts will always be here, guys. The markets are always going to be here. I know it feels like you're missing out. Or like let's say we get into a trade today because we're breaking this daily low. So we may find a trade. This may happen. I don't know. But let's say I do get into a trade and you see me hit like a beautiful take profit, right? I know it feels like FOMO. I know it feels like you're missing out, but you're really not, because my business is fully operational. Your business hasn't even, like, you got to think about it like this. You don't even have an LLC yet. You know, like, there's no logical sense to start executing on the business if you don't have the good foundation to even start from. So don't feel like you have to rush this. This is a lifelong journey. This is not six-pack abs in 6 weeks. Okay, this is, let's get healthy and enjoy our lives for the rest of our lives. Let's create lifestyle change. Can we do that? Can we create lifestyle change for ourselves? And if you do that, and you do that consistently over a long period of time, how do you think you're going to be versus the person that's looking for a shortcut, looking for quick scalps here and there to, replace their income, or to have a green day when it was only like $20? All that stuff. Taking hundreds of trades just to make like $20. I think that sounds good, right? There we go. Now you guys can hear it. Turn it up. Turn it up a little bit more. Sound better? I want to make it a little different. Usually I'm like listening to like lo-fi or like chill beats, whatever, but I'm trying to find something that's like copyright friendly too. So we'll see. It's been a really just boring market this morning. We're probably just waiting for market to open. I think we have some news too. We got let's take a look at the old trusty financial juice as market wakes up. We got some yellow folders later in the day. We have the Fed speaking at 11. I'm done trading by 10:30, so nothing super affected as far as like me this morning. But if you guys are trading in the afternoon, just be just be prepared. When the Fed speaks, the market moves. What time do you normally start the stream? 8:20 a.m. Great question, Pibby. 8:20 a.m. EST every single Monday. Every Monday, 8:20 a.m. EST, like right about an hour before the market open, and then I go all the way until roughly about 10:30 a.m. EST, depending on if I'm like in a trade or if anything's even happening. It's looking like a very boring day trading wise for today, though. We're just hovering in the daily high and low of NASDAQ right now. US30, we dumped all the way down to an area that we're looking for. So US30 may give me a play. US30 is probably the only thing that may really be tradable for me, okay? Please understand. 1 day a week. Well, I trade 3 days a week in my Discord. So, again, if you want to join my Discord, the link is in the description below. This is my Discord. I'm actually working with a team of people that's going to organize all this, and they're actually putting this together now. You guys can't see any of this, but in my Discord with my pack trade group, we trade Wednesday through Friday. So I trade in front of an audience 4 days a week. So if you're in my Discord, you get to see me trade 4 days a week. And then I take a day for myself just mentally because, dude, trading in front of an audience is very mentally taxing. I want at least one mental day to myself. So, but here soon, it's probably going to shift from Monday YouTube live streams, Tuesday through Thursday will be Discord live stream trading, and then Friday is just my chill day, because Fridays are statistically my lower performing days of the week anyways. They're usually very boring. They're usually not that great for my model based on my journal and my data. So I want to respect my data, you know. Tuesdays through Thursdays are my highest performing days of the week anyways. But yeah, set your alarm clock, set your timer, set a reminder on that phone, 8:20 a.m. EST every morning. 10 minutes till market open, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, we have 60 live viewers. Let's go. If you guys are getting value from this stream, please hit that like button. Share it with a friend if you want to, if you think this is valuable, because again, I talk about what matters in my opinion, psychology, discipline, consistency, and we use data-backed models for everything that I do. So, and we keep it simple, dude. We keep it simple. I like to think that anybody with a basic level understanding of trading, they could hop into my streams and see exactly how I trade in 30 minutes of watching me. You know, how I trade is not a secret. It's nothing crazy. It's not some lavish thing, but how I manage my business is what matters, because we focus on what matters. And look at what's happening, guys. We just tapped into that area. We just tapped into that area right there. This is why liquidity is so important. I don't care what statistical blah 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 loop-de-loop thing. I don't care about none of this. This is where price loves to go. If we break an area where price was conducting business, then the next level of contention for price is the next area where price wants to do business, aka this is what I call footprints. Okay, now I called it. I don't know if this is an actual term, but what is this? I don't know if this is an actual term. I definitely made it up myself, but I call these liquidity footprints. Okay. Give me 1 second. Me 1 second. I can still talk. I just gotta turn my camera off for a second. But just like how if you're in a forest, right, and you see a giant footprint of like an elephant, you're not gonna think there's a small animal, right? You're gonna be like, okay, there's obviously either an elephant, if I know what an elephant footprint looks like, or there's a large animal. There's something huge here. It's the same thing on the charts. People that move the market, they leave footprints on the charts, aka they show us their hand. They show us where they're going to buy and sell, and where there's a lot of objective buy and selling going on. So that's all I really need to let me know, okay, this is probably where I want to start making business decisions. A nice reaction off this footprint here, but I'm waiting to see a little deeper for my other model. I don't like these wicks here. I want to see an engulfing candle with no wicks on the bottom to even potentially entertain a long here. We're back. Strong liquidity footprints are. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Like I said, this was an okay engulfing candle. I mean, we definitely had some nice bullish reaction here, but for my trades, I don't like to see these wicks here. Okay, I want to see a good engulfing candle with no wicks. So this was almost like picture perfect for how I trade, but this was a great representation of how strong this model really is, and again, how I trade. But just didn't meet all of my rules. Just for context, if you were to trade US30, yes, absolutely, Rams. If this was a valid, if I was trading US30 for Nancy, which I don't, I just want to stick to NASDAQ. I want to stick to one asset. If you're looking at midnight retracements, this is the trade right here. So as soon as we closed above this liquidity footprint, we're looking left to see where the most protected low is, which is obviously right there at the bottom of the zone. You get the bottom of the zone. Let's see if this plays out. Take profit is all the way up here to midnight open. Let's see if this happens. This is a 6R. Let's see. And this is why, again, like, you just have to be so okay with your risk. Like, what's the main common problem with traders is they don't let the trades play out. They're scared of letting the trades play out. It's because you haven't made peace with the risk, guys. You have not made peace with the risk. If I was in this trade, which I'm not, this is not a trade that I'm taking. If I was in this trade, we got market open, I would have to make peace with the fact that I'm going to lose 27 ticks. I'm happy losing 27 to gain 164. Yeah, I'm loving seeing US30 play out with Nancy. It loves US. Yeah, dude, US30 and NASDAQ, both of them. I mean, it's just, they're so beautiful. Even with how crappy NASDAQ was, it still played out. You know, it's even how crappy of a trade this was right here. It still played out to midnight open right there. It wasn't a great risk to reward versus like this one here. And we got 52 people watching, and I only see 28 likes on the stream. Are you kidding me? Come on, guys. There we go. I appreciate you guys. We came all the way back to the daily low. Starting at 8 o'clock, by the way. Or 8:30. Ending at 8:30. Anybody take that velocity trade? Or did anybody take this midnight retracement trade, I should ask? Look at that baby. Look at that baby. Look at that bullish push. Exactly, dude. And you have to ask yourself, again, people would be like, I wonder why price is doing this. Like, anytime you're studying how this trade works, you're studying how this model works, literally just ask yourself, how does this work? I think we're back. We back? Freaking Wi-Fi, man. All right, we're back. Anyways, back to what I was saying is we had this liquidity. We had bullish buy pressure here. We came down to this buy pressure where business is objectively being done. We have this and combine that with the fact that we have an area where we have a 62.5% chance of retracing to with US30. What else more do you need? You know, like, what else more do you need? Now, again, something I don't want you guys to do psychologically is if you are only taking NASDAQ trades like myself, if you're only looking at NASDAQ and you see something like this happen on US30 but you missed NASDAQ, you didn't trade NASDAQ, do not get in that thinking trap of you missed a trade. Okay, do not get into that thinking trap of, dang, I should have traded that. This is exactly what screws people over, and this is what gets people wrecked, and they never find consistency. Is because while this one worked here, NASDAQ will work may work tomorrow or the next day or whatever, and Dow Jones may be the one that's a loser. But you got to just stick with something and have conviction. Like this one right here, while I didn't personally take this, I'm very happy seeing it play out. I'm very happy. Like I'm happy for anybody that took this trade, and I'm also happy to see my model working in real time, no matter the asset, no matter when or where. I'm just happy seeing this work because it's so cool to see that I can understand the market at such a simple level, and there's peace in this simplicity. And I just love it. I love it so much. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. We had a little Wi-Fi malfunction there.
Thousand Bitcoin. This is nuts. See a freaking retake in all-time highs, even today's market. Look at that. And again, people would be like, I wonder what's going. I mean, there's so much different reasons, you know, so much different macro and micro and fundamentals, blah, blah, blah. Liquidity still drives crypto. even with Bitcoin doing what it's doing now. Like, look at where Bitcoin paused in its tracks, did some bumping around. Look at this. Liquidity. Drag it over. Where did it bounce around before it exploded? Came through, rejected, and now where is it? Huge sell pressure area for Bitcoin. So if we break this and break this all-time high, then what we could most likely expect here, is we turn this into support, and this is what I would like to see. I would like to see us chop at this all-time high, turning this into support. And if this locks in support, if we lock in support on Bitcoin here, oh buddy, it's it's off to the races. It's off to the races. I am so happy with this Bitcoin pump. You guys have no idea. It's been so fun to watch it. We're living in history. Breaking all-time highs this week. Man, it could even be today. Shoot, if we keep on pumping like this, we could see all-time highs today or tomorrow if it maintains this pace. What music playlist is that? It is copyright. If you literally go on Spotify and search copyright free house, it's this one, copyright free house music. Copyright free house music. Yeah, I like it. I think this is a staple. What do you guys think? I think this is a good background music for streaming. As we keep on growing. Dude, we hit 60 live viewers in the chat. That was freaking awesome. 60 live viewers today. I think that's the all-time high that we had was, I think, 75 last week. So we're definitely growing, guys. I mean, we're freaking growing. I'm so happy for it. I love doing this. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I love talking about what matters. Okay, I love, if you guys are new to me, to coming to this stream, dude, this is what matters, okay? I don't care what model you use. I don't care what model you trade. I don't care how you trade. If you don't have psychology, discipline, consistency in your trading model, and you don't practice this when you trade, you're never going to realize success. Just like this trade here, like you go into profit and then it starts going away from you. What happens if you were to close here? You'd have never realized the opportunity to make a full take profit based on your trading plan. If your trading plan is this midnight retracement, you guys are seeing this happen live where psychology, discipline, and consistency are the forefront of any trading strategy, of any model. Like if you go into profit on this trade and then you cut early because you were scared, because you're scared being in profit, all you're doing is literally ruining your long-term consistency and long-term probability because you're allowing your emotions to cloud business decisions on the chart, right? You have to make peace with if you risk 27 ticks, already imagine you losing 27 ticks. You're done. You've lost it. For the potentiality to make a 6R trade, and you will never experience these if you do not just make peace with the risk and stick to your business plan and treat this like a business. Do you trade live every day? So on Mondays, I do live streams here on YouTube. So you can see my YouTube channel. Click the little live section or whatever, and you can see I go live every single Monday, 8:20 a.m. EST. Then in my Discord, I stream 3 days a week. So if you want to join my Discord, the link is in the description below. You can check that out. Again, you can see I live stream every single Monday. Sometimes I'll do back testing sessions or whatever. But yeah, almost every single Monday. Unless it's a federal holiday or I'm sick. 8:20 a.m. EST, you can expect me to be live here trading. So welcome, Morgie. I think you look new. So welcome. I don't think I've seen your name before. Dope. Yeah, we're opening up. So the Pack Trade Group, it's capped at 100 members always. It's like my mentorship where I keep it affordable at $30 a month, but I also only keep it at 100. But a lot of people were coming to me still wanting to join it, still wanting to see the live trade sessions. And in my opinion, the live trade sessions are where you really get the most value. You can't, what I go over and how I trade and how I manage my trades and how I preach psychology, discipline, consistency so much, you can't really teach that in a course, you know? Like, you can't just make a course, okay, guys, today we're going to be emotionally disciplined, and here's how. Like, you just got to see this, right? And then in addition to that, you get to see that I practice what I preach. I'm not some stupid guru in social media here where it's like, yeah, guys, green days every day. I got a 99% win rate. Look at, dude, that's useless. It's useless. I promote and I go over what has helped me stay profitable, and I not only do that, but I show you guys 4 days a week. Once on my YouTube here for free for everyone to see, and then 3 days a week in my Discord. And then I take 1 day mentally for myself because I have to do that. But other than that, I mean, dude, join the Discord. It's going to be open here soon, the live trade sessions anyways. And I'm really excited to do that, where we're just going to have as many people as possible that want to see these trades, see how I work, see how I operate, and get value from it. Because, again, I'm not selling you a course. I'm selling you on what really freaking matters. I don't care what model you use. If you don't have these three things, you're never going to extract a dollar from these markets. You're absolutely welcome, Morgie. See you in there. And if you guys want to, again, after this stream, go over this playlist. Okay, if you want to know more about me, who I am as a trader, how I trade, and if you have any questions, you can ask me in the chat, the Discord chat there. It's free. Go on my channel right here. Everything you need as a trader. This has so many videos that I've done of just the simplicity of how I trade, the psychology of what I do, the models that I use. I mean, all of this is so important. If you really want to just focus on what matters, eliminate all that stupid fluff. I only focus on what matters. I can't repeat. I sound like a broken record, I know, but there's nothing else for me to say. Yo, let me know in the chat who's in this. I think I seen A-Dub. A-Dub said he took it. Kitchen Spiral said I'm on it. Corey said I took the midnight. Wesley says I chose not to. Hey, that's fine. Again, what matters more in trading? Trying to catch every single move, or only trying to take the highest probabilities and sticking to your plan, right? If your plan isn't specifying trading US30, then don't trade US30, right? I'm happy for anybody that's in this trade and that's winning it, but you know, it's whatever. Because if you sit here and hop around from asset to asset because NASDAQ didn't give you the play, so I'm going to hop on over to US30, or US30 gave you the play, and then you regret missing this trade, so then tomorrow you hop on over to US30, you're not going to have any consistency, right? Your P&L is going to look like this because you're literally just hopping all over the place, right? Stick to one asset. Be very good at that one asset with this model. And if the trade happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. We're risk managers. We're not traders. We're risk managers. Yeah. Now, if you guys are in this trade, watching this trade happen, and you're using the indicator, again, this indicator is free. So again, Morgie, if you're new here, or anybody else that's new here, this indicator is free. Click the link in the description below. Fill out the Google form. It's 100% free. And it shows you the data to add data to any model you use. You don't have to trade how I trade. This can still objectively give you an edge in the market that adds undeniable proof to your edge. So in this case here, if I know that US30 has a high probability of retracing back to this line right here, aka the midnight open, then a lot of people have questions about this. A lot of people have, I'm waiting for the indicator to load, but a lot of people have questions under the brackets, the sections of 0, 15, 30, and 45. So this will ever load. Sometimes it takes a minute to load. Can we get this to load? Can we stop being goofy? It analyzes a lot of data, so it usually takes like 10-15 seconds for it to load. That's why it does that. When you say the model, you mean midnight open, post 7 a.m., 11 a.m., 11 setup. Post, well, yeah, like midnight retracement, yeah. And what I mean by that is if you stick to, say, NASDAQ... Dude, why is my indicator not loading? What are you doing? There we go. Okay. But yeah, so what I mean by that is like if you want to trade NASDAQ, then stick to NASDAQ. If you want to trade gold, stick to gold. If you want to trade the Russell, stick to Russell. But don't hop around from asset to asset, but just because one didn't present a trade today. That's what I'm meaning. But right here, okay? So if you're trying to decipher this is a very common question I get. They're like, hey, so what do these mean, right? I know that we have a 62% chance, but what do these mean? What this shows you, this doesn't have anything to do with your entry. This just gives you data to further confirm what you're seeing on the charts. So in this 62.5% chance of retracing to this line, we know even more so every 1 hour candle has 4 15-minute candles. Okay? 4 15-minute increments. The first 15 minutes, the second 15 minutes, the third 15 minutes, and the fourth 15 minutes. So what this is showing you is on average from whatever time window I have, so from 8 to 11, and the reason why this says 7 to 10 is because this is showing you the close of the candle. So if you put 7 here, it's going to start at 8. If you put 10:15, it's going to start at 11:15. So this is a range from 8 to 11:15. But I had to put 7, just like how this is 23, but it's the close of the 23 candle, the open of the midnight. Okay, so you guys get that? So if we know that it's 9:52 right now from minute 45 to minute 59, we know that this is a low probability. Could we still retrace in this time? Absolutely, right? These are just statistics. This still happens. You can see out of 1,034 days, which is about 2.8 years of data that it's analyzing, 448 days, it's retraced in the last leg of the hourly, okay? But most of the time, we have the best chance either in the middle of the hourly candle, starting at minute 30 to minute 44, and then we have the second best at minute 0 to minute 14. So for the first 0 to 14 minutes, we have the second highest chance. So what we can now see and use this data is if we're in this trade, like if you're in this trade and you're freaking out because you're sitting here like, oh my God, it's so close to profit, I gotta close, I'm getting scared. You can use this data to really build your psychology even more. Because if you know that now this is a poor likelihood of retracing here, you're just chilling. You're like, okay, we don't really have that much data to tell us that, or probability to tell us that we're going to retrace here. But from here, let's just go ahead and draw this. From 0 to 14, this is your second highest opportunity. And then from 30 to 44, so from 30 to 44, this is your most highest chance. So we could see that if price wants to retrace to this midnight open, we either have the second highest chance right here in this area of time, or we have the first highest of chance, like the highest out of all the data in this moment of time. Does that make sense? So I get that question a lot, and I wanted to go over that because we got a lot of new people on the stream here. We're about to hit 60 viewers again. This is the 2 good chunks of time that has the highest chance of us retracing. So I just want to highlight this for you guys to see it. There's this isn't a model or a structure or anything. I'm just highlighting this in the chart so that way when we get into this moment of time, you guys are able to visually see this. So let's see if it plays out. Let's see if we retrace on the last leg of the hourly, or if the data is in line and we in fact do retrace on the first 15 minutes. Do you guys get that? Let me know in the chat. Does this make sense? Like, just say yes. Like, yeah, this makes sense, or no, could you further, go over something, and also drop a like. Like if we got 41 likes in the stream, yeah, drop a like if you got value from this. If you think this is valuable, helpful. Again, you don't have to trade this way. One really cool thing that I love about this model is you can literally trade, you can use this data for anything. Meaning, if you have a strategy that, let's say your strategy in this moment of time was calling for a long. Well, if you know that the data here tells you Like let's say your strategy, let's go down to the 1 minute again. Let's say your strategy was right here, and let's say you were wanting to go short, right? Let's say your strategy right here in this moment of time, let's say you were like, okay, I'm a breakout trader. We have a support here. We have a resistance. And then I take this short, right? But you can be like, well, hold on. If I know that I'm below midnight open, and I also know that we have a stupid high chance of retracing to this midnight open, do I really want to go short here if I have empirical 10 plus years of data telling me that I don't know if this is the best opportunity? And then combine that with liquidity footprints, and you just have more data versus all the flip side. Let's say your model, your strategy was calling for a long anywhere here. Well, in this moment, in this window of time. Well, now you have even more confluence, because if your strategy does tell you to go long here, if your trading plan does tell you to go long here, and you're below the midnight open, and you're close to a liquidity footprint, and you're in that section of time with the highest data, then now you know that you have an even higher edge of your trade playing out, because the data is telling you, right? You guys know when we get into these thought traps, these thought processes where it's like, I think I've seen this happen. I see this happen a lot. Really, you don't know, right? Just like how when you go and buy a vehicle, it's called the recency effect. Go look it up. Recency effect. Or I'll spell it for you guys. RECENCY effect. Go look this up in psychology. This right here. Recency effect. This affects a lot of traders, because what we do is we get in these thinking traps of, you take a loss and then you're like, oh my God, I always lose when I take a trade, right? Or you miss out on a trade and you're like, oh my God, I always lose. No, you don't. You're just putting focus to it. Just like how when you buy a new vehicle, now you're all of a sudden seeing this vehicle on the road all the time. It's nothing's changed. You're just now putting focus on it. So it's the same thing with this. This eliminates that recency effect. You don't have to be like, I think I've seen price retrace a couple times to midnight open. You don't have to think anymore, because now you can specify the window. You can specify if you do want to do midnight, because you can also change this to whatever. So if you want to see the data for price retracing to the 9 o'clock candle, I don't know, whatever candle you want, you can do that. And now you can use this data to really build a solid plan, or to add confluence around your already existing plan, versus sitting here being like, I think this happens. I think this may happen. You don't have to think, right? It's there for you. A-Huts makes sense. Agit. Yep, definitely. Nice. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. The feedback helps. Not for my ego, but to allow me to know if I'm doing it and explaining it correctly. You guys are investing the most important asset ever, which is time, hanging out here with me. So I want you guys to get a return on your time. Okay, so we're now entering the new hourly candle. And in addition to this new hourly candle, we got 40 seconds and you'll be able to see the candle. It's just under this line here. But we're now coming into the moment of time where we have the second highest probability of retracing to this midnight open. So let's see if it happens. All right, I'll be right back, guys. Give me 1 second. right? See if statistics play in our favor. Telling you guys, man, it's this easy. It's this trading is this easy. The hardest part is what a lot of people are going through right now. If you're in this trade, this is why, again, this is definitive proof on why psychology, discipline, and consistency are the most important in trading. The most important. Right here, this is definitive proof. If you're in this trade, you're freaking out, right? You're sweating. You're like, oh my gosh. Oh my God, should I close? Should I close? I need to close. Who here, let me know in the chat, who here literally gets scared when they're in profit? Don't be afraid to admit it, because that's how you grow. But understand that that's where growth comes from. Being uncomfortable, keeping this a business and not an emotional train wreck. Because ask yourself, if you're in this trade, if you were taking a trade like this, where you're close to your target, but then it starts going against you a bit, are you making an emotional decision by closing here, right? Or are you making a logical one? Because there's no news until 11, so there's really no reason to close this trade. It's a beautiful trade. It's going in your favor. It's on its way to hitting your target, right? And you've already made peace with the fact that you're going to be losing 27 ticks. So what is there to really be scared of? What's there to really be upset about? What's there... What are you letting something hold you back? What's there to be held back? Nothing. It happens a lot with me. Yeah, it happens to everyone, right? It happens to everyone, even me. But the thing that you have to understand is we are emotional human beings, okay? And it's okay to be emotional, right? I'm not telling you to not feel your emotions. What I'm telling you is you have to treat this like a business. This is a business decision. It makes no sense to close here. None whatsoever. You know? But if there was news, if there was something that is coming up where it's like, okay, I need to lock in profits, then I'm going to start looking for logical reasons to close profits. But if you're just literally in this trade and you're just like, yep, just another trade, you know, like I'm already made peace with the risk. And also you have to think like this. So this may help you, Ajit. No singular trade is going to change your life. None. But a series of 100 high quality trades can definitely impact your life in a positive way, right? So if you keep treating every single trade as if it's going to change your life or it's going to impact your life in some way, shape, or form, you're always going to be in that hamster wheel of, I need to close, oh my God, I need to close. Because what benefit is that doing? Is that a net benefit or is that a net negative? You know? Because if you treat every single trade as a make it or break it moment, you're going to be stressed out for the rest of your trading career. Think about that. How crazy and annoying is it to be so stressed that you can't enjoy this? Because at the end of the day, guys, we have one life, and I want to enjoy this. I don't know about you guys, but I want to have fun trading. I don't want to sit here sweating bullets and freaking out and arguing with people every single day. Dude, if anybody has a problem with how I trade, you're free to leave. You know, like I'm not gonna argue with you about why I believe in my conviction of is keeping me profitable. I'll just be like, all right, cool. I wish you nothing but the best, but I'm fine. So you really have to just have conviction in this stuff and understand that it's your next 100 trades that's going to impact your life, not the next trade or any of it. Deadly uncomfortable to see price wobbling just in front of the TV level. But see, it's the moment of uncomfortability. I'm telling you, I am telling you with so much passion inside of my heart. It is this level of uncomfortability where you grow as a trader. I'm telling you. I can't say it with more importance. This is what makes a trader, because guess what? Even if this goes back, even if this goes all the way back and hits my stop loss, right? What have I lost? I've only lost 27 ticks. I have made peace with this. I expect to lose this. I am okay losing this trade. But what I'm not okay with is closing here due to emotion when I could have realized an actual full take profit. That's what I would regret. Because then tomorrow, what happens then, right? If I get another 6R trade, and then tomorrow happens, and I'm just like, oh, nope, got to close here. And then it goes to full take profit instead of reversing. Now you're just messing with your psychology. You're always going to be questioning everything. Well, what's the point in that? You know, like, you're just freaking yourself out. And again, this trade won't matter. This specific trade is not going to change your life. It's how you treat this trade in the next 100 trades that's going to change your life. This trade does not freaking matter. I said that in the previous stream, in the previous stream, in the previous stream. Every single time you guys see me get into anything or do anything or take a trade or whatever, I always tell you guys, I expect to lose this trade. Because what is there, if I'm not trading at a 100% win rate, then I'm going to lose trades. Why would I expect anything less? Intraday drawdown. That's a valid point. I can definitely see what you're talking about, Silver Bullet. But that's why we manage our risk, right? That's why, for me, when I'm trading Apex, I stick to the minis, and I only risk 60 to 100 bucks per trade. So even if I do go into like some insane profits, like even if my equity does get pretty high, it's not going to be like I'm trading one full NQ contract or two NQ contracts, and if I do go into super heavy profits and then it goes against me, then I breach the account. You know what I mean? So yes, I definitely see what you're saying, but it just comes down to how do you play the game? How do you play the game the best way possible? And for me, what I do, again, this is not a way of trading, or this is not the way of trading. This isn't the best way of handling intraday drawdown, but for me, what I'm doing is I'm just keeping my risk per trade manageable. I'm keeping it to $60 to $100 per trade, and I'm just letting the trades play out. Hey, Mr. Robinson, thank you so much for your subscribe. Thank you. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the channel. Hope you find it good. Hope you find it entertaining. Hope you find value from it, most importantly. Gigs, yeah. So I see what you're saying. I'm not sure what you mean by 1006. Not really. And for those of you that are new, this is an indicator that I've created, velocity. And sometimes it'll give us like false signals. This is not a trade that I'm in or taken or anything like that. But yeah, we just didn't really engulf enough here. So yeah. And then this engulfing here that you guys see on NASDAQ, we were so close to this daily range. NASDAQ needs to dig way deeper, in my opinion. We need to come down here to this liquidity here, liquidity 2, to even consider, for me personally, taking it along. Just nothing good of quality. Dow Jones is in my opinion the only high quality trade that happened today, for me anyways, was this Dow Jones trade. Thanks for the music recommendation. Let's go. Nice. Glad you like it, Dale. Mr. Robinson, what's up? Hello, just tuning in. Are you currently in a long... There's a long position here on Dow Jones. Now, I trade NASDAQ with these midnight retracements, but a lot of people here did take this Dow Jones trade, so I'm tracking it here just to show you guys how the power of the midnight retracement. If you are coming here from NASDAQ or coming from the midnight retracement and you've been watching NASDAQ did already play out this morning. So we had a bullish close off the liquidity here, coming to the midnight retracement. But it was just very small, very, very small, and a little bit risky because it is the lower risk to reward trade, lower R trade. But then YM played really nice today. And now we're just sitting here seeing it play out. Now we are coming outside of the second to highest window, okay? Now, I'll preface this as well, too. For anybody that took this trade, now I'm gonna probably hurt one or two people's feelings here, okay? But I'm giving you guys value, and I do not sugarcoat anything that I say, because you guys need to understand that this is a business, and it would be disingenuous of me not to give you guys the real side of understanding how this works. Because if I were to sugarcoat something, be like, oh, it's okay, all it's doing is it's keeping you farther from the truth. Right? It's keeping you farther from actually operating as a business instead of as just somebody trying to win a trade. If you come to this stream to copy trade me or to trade this model without fully back testing it yourself, you are only doing yourself a disservice. You are trading someone else's business model. You're building a business off of somebody else's model and not your own. I want you guys to understand. Would you spend boatloads of money to establish a business just to copy someone else's business? You wouldn't, right? You would only go through the trouble of starting and building a business if you built a solid business plan that you trust. But for some crazy reason, in the world of trading, everyone just wants signals. You know what I mean? Everyone was like, oh, okay, taking a trade here, taking a trade here, taking a trade here. You're not gonna survive as a business that way, right? If you haven't taken, I will tell you guys this: if you like and enjoy this midnight retracement model, but you have not done this at least 200 times, 300 times in backtest and practice this move with at least a year's worth of data, you're doing yourself a disservice, and you are not treating this like a business. And I'm not saying that to be confrontational. I'm not saying that to be disrespectful. I'm not saying that to be arrogant. I'm saying that because you need to hear this. Okay? No other content creators are going to say that because they want you to stay on this stream. They want you to love them. They want you to give them the clicks. They want you to buy their course, all that stuff, right? I'm telling you what you need to hear for free here live on YouTube. If you are trading and copy trading anybody, if you are taking blind trades that you haven't built a year's worth of data from, if you haven't spent and sat down for countless hours understanding the asset that you're trading, you are doing yourself a disservice. And you think that you're getting closer to your goal by copying trades, but you're really not. You're putting yourself further away because you don't emotionally understand this as it's happening. This trade right here, if you feel in any way, shape, or form uncomfortable when you're in profit and then it goes against you, it's because one, you're either over risking, or two, or both, or you don't know this model fully. Because you can't respect a model if you've never practiced it, right? You can't, like, you got to have training wheels before you practice on the actual bike. You know, you got to fall down sometimes and learn and respect that this bike is going to literally make you fall down if you don't understand how to use it. Okay, we've all tried to ride a bicycle and fell down 100 times before we learned and built the balance to stay on a bike. It's the same thing in trading. If you see a model on YouTube that attracts you, and then you instantly go and trade it live on the markets, you are doing it wrong. Build the data for yourself. Don't trust me. Do not trust me. Do not come to this stream and see this data and just take it for what it's worth. Go and back test it yourself. Okay? This is something that no other, all these gurus on here will not tell you, because they want you to trust them, because they want your money. They want your money because they can't trade. They're relying on you to pay their bills. I don't have to do that. I'm telling you right now, do not trust me. Take with what I say as a foundation and then go and build on that foundation with your own results. Right? I hope that helps somebody out there. Let's see. What is your stop loss strategy for midnight snap? When do you set the stop loss above or below the footprint? And when do you go within the footprint just below the last low? Let me see if I understand. So what is your stop loss strategy for midnight snap? Okay, so let's take this one question at a time. What is your stop loss for midnight snap? It's always going to be the protected highs and lows. Always, always, always going to be the protected highs and lows, because that is the logical point to put a stop loss. Right? Because what is a stop loss? Your stop loss is an area where your trade idea is now invalid. It makes no sense to be in that trade anymore, right? So if I'm taking a long, where is the point where that long no longer makes sense, where the buyers are now no longer in control, right? It's when a stop loss, it's when a protected low gets broken, when the bears, the sellers start taking control again. So in this case here, we got to look for protected lows. What is a protected low? Go watch this playlist. I'm telling you guys, I'm going to show you, but this shouldn't be the only time you're exposed to what a protected high or low is. You need to go watch my playlist, which is right here. You're just new and following along. This one right here. You need to go watch this. Watch it 100 times if you got to. The specific one that I go into, you click this, you pull playlist. It's this one, I think. This one. Simple Profitable Day Trading Strategy 2024. But, so what we're looking for is a low that creates a new high. You know what I mean? So, this low, Mondays are the worst for me. Is this something common? I'll get into that. That's a great question. I'll get into it. So this low broke structure, meaning, okay, the market only moves 3 ways. All right, newsflash. The market will only move these 3 ways. There's a very small guarantees in the world, in the market. This is one of them. The market will only move higher highs and higher lows, consolidation, or lower lows and lower highs. Okay, it'll only move in these 3 structures. So in these structures, what is important in this structure? It's this low that broke this previous high to make a new high. It's this high that broke this previous low to make a new low. In consolidation, we're waiting for something to be broken, either the upside or the downside. That's it. That's it. Very simple. So when I'm taking a trade, the only logical place for me, if I'm taking a long, the only logical place for me to take a trade, let's say I took a long over here, is to place it below this low, because this low right here was responsible for creating higher highs and higher lows. So it would only make sense for me to place it below this low, right? And vice versa for going short. If I'm going short, let's say I go short over here, and then I look back in time and, okay, what's the most recent protected high that will protect my stop loss? And if it doesn't, I don't want to be in that trade anyways. But I see this one right here. So boom, right here. This will be my protected high, right? Because this high made a new low, and that's where the most logical reason ever to take this trade. So now putting that into context for this specific Dow Jones trade right here, why did we do this? We didn't put it here, right? Because this low, we didn't know what the heck it was going to do. We want to look left and see where was the most recent protected low, because we're going long, that created higher highs. Right here, the bottom of our zone. This low was responsible for this giant rip, right? We have a high right here. If you want to visually see it, we have a high that was responsible. Let me get rid of this. We have a high that was responsible for making this low. Okay? We were making bearish structure right here. This high made this low. This high made this low. This high got broken right here. You see how we closed above it? What was responsible for that closure above? This giant move. This low was the starting point. This was the catalyst. This is what caused structure to start shifting in the bullish way, in a bullish way. So now we take that and go to current price action. And that is where I want my stop loss to be, because if we break that, we have a high likelihood that we're most likely just going to start going lower, making lower lows and lower highs. And I don't want to be in that trade anymore, right? And then here is the flip side to this. Here's the caveat to this trade currently with Dow Jones. We have news at 11. Okay, you guys, I told you guys, I only close trades. I will only ever close trades during news, or if it's outside of the statistical window for us to retrace. This doesn't happen a lot, but sometimes it does. Meaning, if I build the data, if I know that on my trading plan here, let's wait for this to load, but if I know that from 8 to 11 a.m., okay, and again, I'm speaking from myself, I can't give you guys a general time frame for all these different models, but for me, if my trading plan annotates that from 8 to 10 to 11, that's the highest likelihood for us to retrace to this midnight open right here. Dude, my indicator is really... There we go. So we have a 62% chance between 8 to 11. And again, this is an hour behind. So from 8 to 11:15, we have a 62.5% chance of retracing to this line right here. If by the time 11:15 elapses, or around 11, if at around 11 we don't get to that midnight retracement, then there's a logical reason to close the trade. Again, finding a logical reason to close the trade, not an emotional one. Not, oh my God, I got to close the trade, I got to take profit. But a logical one of, okay, if we haven't retraced in this bucket of time, in this window of time, then it really doesn't make sense to hold the trade any longer. And also, if we have news coming up, and I know that news is heavily manipulated, and I cannot trade news with an edge because I'm not Nancy Pelosi, and I don't have insider information on where the market's going to go, it's outside of my control, and I don't want to put that risk on my business. I don't want my business to have exposure to stuff that I genuinely can't control, meaning news. Heavily manipulation, right? Heavy manipulation. So, in this Dow Jones trade here, you guys tell me in the chat, would it make sense to keep on holding this trade, right? I don't have to tell you, you guys tell me. Would it make sense to hold this trade outside of the statistical window, and also during news when it's heavily manipulated, right? It doesn't really make a lot of sense. Okay, so that's the stop loss. When do you set the stop loss above or below the footprint? I do it as soon as I get into the trade, PG. As soon as I get into the trade, my stop loss is placed. And when do you go within the footprint, just below the last low or above the last high? I do it where whatever's closest to price. Sometimes the protected high or low is below the footprint, within the footprint. The footprint is only giving me context of where I'm getting my entry, not where I'm putting my stop loss. Structure is where I'm putting my stop loss. This liquidity footprint is just giving me context of when to get into the trade. Okay? It has nothing to do with my stop loss. Sometimes sometimes it happens to be where my protected low is, which is in this case here, but not always. Let me know, PG, if I answered your question. Well, your questions. Makar, I hope I pronounced your name right. Mondays are the worst for me. Is this something common? So you have to understand the question that you just asked, right? Mondays are the worst for me. Is this common? Could be. For some people, Mondays are the best days. Trading is a business, right? You got to look at trading from a business perspective. You have to frame everything that you are ever wondering about in trading, frame it like a business. Does every business fail on Mondays? No. Does every business do great on Mondays? No. It's all how your business plan is made. It's all how you build your trading plan, right? Some businesses do better during Easter, during Christmas, during 4th of July, while others don't. Like, there's seasons and patterns for every business model out there, in and outside of trading. So when you ask me, is this common? I can't give you a yes or no because I don't know your business. But you have to build the data to tell me if that's common. If you have, and again, this may hurt people's feelings, but you have to listen to this if you want to make long-term money. If you don't, then don't listen to this. If you don't know your data like the back of your hand, why are you trading? Okay? If you ask me, Mondays are my worst days, is this common? What that tells me is you really haven't built a lot of data to know and understand when the best days of the week are, when isn't the best days. Both journaling your live trades and the backtest data of literally a year minimum, right? Because why do I say a year minimum? A year minimum for day traders is roughly what is a good amount of measurement of, okay, is this strategy going to stand the test of time? Is this strategy going to kind of work with different kind of market climates because the markets change and the markets move? And it also gives you 52 weeks of what's the best days of the week and what's the lower performing days of the week, right? So you can start to see patterns. So if you don't know that, then why are you conducting business? Why are you conducting trades? Why are you conducting and operating a business, right? Because again, if you were to build a business in the physical world, you would know your target audience like the back of your hand, right? You would go and see when the best time it is to open your business versus the worst time. You would see where do you want to market your ad dollars to. Like, you would already know all this, but for some weird reason in trading, people want to click that button before they even have a business plan because they're afraid of missing out. You're in that scarcity mindset. All right, so again, I don't want to be confrontational. I do not mean this in a disrespectful or disingenuous way. I mean this in the most value-driven way possible. This is what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. Austin, I really appreciate how you respond to questions here. This is my second time on live stream, and I'm learning so much. Hey, I appreciate that, PG. Appreciate that. All right, I want you guys to pay attention to this. We're at 10:30 right now. We are now in the most high statistical window of retracing, which falls right in line with what I was saying. If we do retrace, this is the last real chance, the last real window of time to retrace with the best possibility ever before we get into 11 o'clock, which is then we're starting to probably look to close the trade. And we also have news coming up in 30 minutes, so then it starts to make even more sense to close the trade out. See if this window happens. Who all still holding the trade? Let's do a test. Let's do a test in the chat. Who's still holding the trade? Be honest. Be honest. I will not be disrespectful. I will only give you value, okay? But be honest. Who here closed the trade? Who closed the trade around here? If you were trading this, right? Who here also took the trade and didn't build data? Just took it. Be real. We all have done it, right? I've done it. We all done it. But when you admit to it, and when you're real with yourself and honest with yourself, that's when you start to learn and how to develop as a trader. Okay, so don't be sitting here, oh, no, I'm holding and you really didn't. Be honest, right? Be honest with yourself. Who here still holding the trade, letting the math play out? Who here has closed here and they're not now experiencing this? You guys are seeing why psychology is so important. You're seeing this. You're seeing this live where psychology, discipline, consistency, you have to have the psychology to let this trade go super close to your take profit and then let it turn around, but you have the psychology because you've built the data behind a model that you're comfortable doing and you're comfortable letting it play out. You've already done it. You've already done the heavy lifting. You don't have to think anymore because you've built the data over a long period of time and you have empirical data here that tells you when you have an edge. You don't have to worry. There's no room to worry. Just like how you also have to have the discipline. What happens if this trade does go and hit your stop loss? Okay. You lost 27 ticks. You didn't lose the whole house. You didn't go take a second mortgage out for this trade. This trade wasn't going to change your life anyways. It was only going to either win or lose. That's it. And it was going to either lose you 27 ticks, which you made peace with, or gain you 164 at a 6.07 risk to reward, and you move on to the next day. This win is not going to change your life, just like this this losing trade isn't going to change your life. Right? Dale took it. Corey, my midnight line was at 39.15, so I got out when it double tapped. 39.15. Oh, you might be on CFD. Let me see. Yeah, if you're looking at the CFD version, you could have probably... I mean, the prices are a little different. Oh, yeah. So look at this. So if you were trading CFD version, you already hit a full take profit. So here was the liquidity. Going down to the 1 minute. This was your bullish reaction. So congrats, Gibson, Corey, and for anybody else, there was your profit right there. Look at that. Right. Heck yeah, congratulations, guys. That was a beautiful trade. 5.44R. You can't beat that. Close to holding one. Close to holding one. Like you took positions off. If you're talking about like closing partials, now for this model specifically, I don't take partial profits or anything like that. I've never been a fan of taking partial profits. Now, is it bad? Again, no. Like, I don't speak as in the sense that I am the god of trading or I'm an expert at trading, but I tell you what has worked for me and what logically makes sense for me. Okay, for me, I'm not a fan of taking partials because it kind of makes your risk to reward crazy. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, if I were to take partials here, take partials like here, like, I'm not realizing the full reward because now I risk 27 ticks to partially make some here, partially make some here. I don't like that. I would rather take the full trade and let the math have some sort of predictability, or lose the trade and have the math have some sort of predictability. I'm not a big fan of partial profits. But that's just me. Again, I don't care how you guys trade. I'm just telling you what my experience has led me to believe. Before we get out this window, I'm gonna probably close off the stream. Got a lot of work to do today. Got a lot of videos to film. Got to get a haircut. Gotta do a lot of stuff. And then again, this window is the last chance for us to retrace anyways for it to even make sense to keep on holding it. So past here, not only do your statistics start falling off, but then the odds of this window also fall off. So then that is when it's a logical reason to be like, okay, cutting profits here at 4.56. Anywhere in this, I mean, dude, this is a beautiful risk to reward. Anywhere in this area. Let's celebrate this beautiful trade here with some music. Dale. Love doing it, bro. Yo, as we're wrapping up this stream, if you guys could just do me a very quick favor, and go to this tweet I just posted. Let me know your experience. Let me know your experience that you had on stream today, all right? We got, here, I'll share a link in the live stream if you guys need it. Let me know if you guys took this trade, if it worked out for you, if you enjoyed it, if you got value from it. Just reply to it with however you felt. And let's promote the good side of trading. Let's promote the real side of trading. If you reply to this, I'll give you a little shout out here on the stream. What are you guys saying here? Makar says, "What do you think of that? They say don't be a Don't be a D for a tick. Yeah. I mean, I guess there's multiple things you can kind of extrapolate from that. But I think the biggest thing is don't be greedy. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure there's multiple ways. One, I guess you could be like, don't be a D for a tick if you're like, don't think that you're the god of trading and you're the only way of trading, which I don't at all. So I guess there's that. But also, yeah, like don't be greedy as in, bro, take your profits and go home. So like in this trade here that you guys are seeing, once we're outside of that statistical window and you've collected profit, don't be an idiot, dude. Don't be a bad business owner and be like, oh man, I didn't get this full 6R. Oh, dude, I only got a 4. Are you kidding me right now? And then trade. This is where people mess up, right? This is where people mess up in trading, is when they literally are sitting here, they take profit and they're not happy with the profits because they get greedy. And they're like, oh man, I got to get into another trade. I gotta get more movement. Bro, you're done for the day, right? Don't be a D for a tick. You're done. Your business has made money. But now, where like so many of the traders lose is because their psychology is weak, because they don't have discipline and they don't stay consistent with their trading model. They'll sit here and deviate away from their trading model. Let's say you follow this perfectly to a T, right? And then you give those profits right back because then you overtrade somewhere around here doing nonsense that you have no data from. You have no reason to take that trade. There's nothing telling you to get into that trade other than your emotion, right? So, hey, like I say at the end of every single video, I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching this stream. I hope you guys had a great stream. For all the new people, welcome. I hope I earned your subscription and you come back every single Monday. Come into the Discord. Drop a like on this stream on your way out. Let me know in the chat and let me know on Twitter what you guys thought. And hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, man. Don't give those profits back. Stick to business decisions. And stay grinding in your goals. And never, ever let anyone tell you that you can't do something they have never done themselves. And I'll see you guys later. Time to bloom.